Hey, everybody. My camera did not freeze, by the way. I had a camera go out on me unexpectedly. First time in over a year now. But yeah, so you've got this picture of me, and that's all you're going to get for today. I'm going to be, well, let's jump into the Monday morning cup of Joe. I hope you had an enjoyable weekend. Give me a second here. Just enjoying my Monday morning cup of Joe, and I hope you will too. And hopefully you had a restful weekend and it's time to get back into the swing of things. And if getting back into that swing of things is multitasking during your day, I have some insights to share with you. I have a colleague that's very big on their ability to multitask, a frequent boast that comes out. And it was very interesting after the coffee last week. I had an interesting conversation with a neuroscientist that I share notes with, and this stuff would also probably be supported by Stephen Kotler at the Flow Research Collective. And here's what I was told: that the brain operates on a very binary system, meaning it's zeros and ones, just like our computers. And the zero means that we are processing, or we're in a subconscious state, or we're a one where we're actually in thought, focused on something, whether it's an activity or simply a thought. That is the number one. So we go back and forth from these zeros and ones constantly. And so we cannot the brain cannot think of more than one thing at a time. Try it. Try to think of more than one thing at 1 second, right? I tried it. I couldn't do it. I could only think of one thing at a time. And that's the truth about multitasking, is that we can only focus on one thing at a time, so that when we break that up, meaning we start on one task, we may give it a couple of minutes of our focus and effort, and then we jump to another task and we give that another couple of minutes of our focus, and then we jump to another task, we give that another few minutes of our focus, and we jump to another task and we give that another few minutes of our focus, and then we jump to the original task that we started with and we give a little more focus to it. And reality tells us that when we go to something we've left off, the first thing we have to process mentally is, okay, on this task, where did I leave off? What was the last thing I did? So we have to kind of backtrack a little bit. And then we go, oh, yeah, that's right, I remember now. And you start working on that task. And then you bounce off to another task, and then so on and so forth, right? You get the picture. And that time that it takes for us to go back to that original task and discover where we left off and hope that we got that right. Because if we didn't go back and really thoroughly looked at, okay, where did we leave off and were we doing the right thing, can lead to poor quality in our work. Something gets incomplete, something falls through the cracks. And when you've got 6 of those items out in front of you and you're jumping task to task, well, how many opportunities for failure are there? Not only that, if that wasn't bad enough, what is infinitely worse is the stress and the anxiety that we put on ourselves that causes headaches, that causes ultimately burnout, all these things that we are maybe even subconsciously processing, right? We don't realize it until we feel the effects of it. And we may not even be able to relate those effects, like headaches and burnout, back to what actually originally caused them. But when you're a multitasker, one common experience of people who are multitaskers is that feeling of overwhelm. There's just so much to do and not enough time to do it in. And we don't really thoroughly go through and say, what's the A1 priority? What's the A2 priority? What's the A3 priority? And, even maybe take a systematic approach to, all the things that we need to get done and focusing only on the vital few first, right? We don't do that. We just go into the office, whether that office is at home or it's, at work, and we go right in, we try to hit the ground running, try to be as productive as we can be. And that whole push for productivity is what lends itself to this multitasking. And some of us serve multiple masters. So I may have my boss, but then I've got other people that depend on my work in order for them to be able to do their work. And so I've got all these masters and only one me, right? And that's where we run into trouble. We think that multitasking, because we can show some progress on each of those things, right? It kind of lies to us and says, oh yeah, this is the way to go. But the reality is that it is extremely inefficient when you look at your overall professional or personal productivity. That's where we run into a snag, if you will. Now, do not despair. I have something that I'm going to share with you on After the Coffee this Wednesday that is going to give you a huge boost to your productivity. I'm just going to do an overview, but I'll let you know that I do have a free course. And when I say free course, I'm not like one of these other people who tries to suck you into buying something. I'm not interested in selling you anything. I've never been interested in selling you anything in the year that we've been doing Monday Morning Cuppa Joes and After the Coffee. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to help you make a difference in your own personal and professional life. So that being said, I want you to enjoy your coffee. Hopefully you'll be able to somewhat ease into your day and you're not just jumping on the speeding train. I know how that feels first thing on a Monday morning, but just take some time to reflect, enjoy your cup of coffee, and look forward to the week. Be prepared, right? The planning's super important, but enjoy your cup of coffee, lead well, my friend, and I will see you on Wednesday for After the Coffee. Take care.